Hello, anybody, and thanks for tuning in to Monday Morning Handicapping. This is a Weekend Warrior edition for the Pleasanton card on November 24th, 2024. And for the sake of time and brevity, I'm just going to give you my tips and picks for the top tier selections. For example, if you look over to the left, I've already posted my race 1 selections. I have the 4 on top, /7, /2, 3. A slash indicates a tier below, and a comma separating the runners would indicate kind of on the same tier in either order. So for example, again, the left hand side, you'll see that 4. I think the 4 is the best. The 7 I could see running second, and in third and fourth I could see the 2 and the 3, or the 3 and the 2, kind of either or. This can happen in any position. I might have 2 or 3 contenders in the first spot, 2 or 3 in the second, any combination of things. So if I have more than one contender in the top slot, I'll briefly discuss the merits of each runner and why I like them in the top spot. Hopefully that's not too many, and hopefully I can keep this video relatively short. So let's just get started. We'll dive into the first race. I'll have a column for my top pick, and on the left hand side, and on the right hand side I'll have my kind of underneath players, and at the very bottom I will have my picks, so you can just see right away what my picks are for each race. So let's just dive right on into race number 1. Up at the top we have the race conditions. It's 5.5 furlongs. It's at Pleasanton, so they're all on the dirt. Maiden $20,000. And my top pick is going to be number 4, Fast Service. This is this horse's second year off of a year layoff, and this trainer's hitting at a 29% clip with this move. The first time it raced after that year, it ran 6 furlongs and lost by a nose to the winner that won it in wire-to-wire fashion. So that was a pretty good race coming off of a year to try to run down a winner like that. In that race, this horse matched his career best figure in its 4-year-old debut, and I emphasize the 4-year-old debut because a lot of times horses can improve from 2 years old to 3 years old to 4, usually peaking in their 4 or 5-year-old season. So it's nice to see when a horse comes out in its 4-year-old debut and at least matches about what it had been running as a 3-year-old. There's some signs that it could improve. Another reason I like this are the good connections. Tim McKenna, the trainer, is winning at 27% right now. Espinoza, the jockey, winning at about 20%, and when they team up, they win at about a 27% clip. This horse also has closing ability, and the speed in this race looks to have a fading issue, so they'll get out to the lead and get tired and just drop back suddenly. So I think this horse, again, second off the layoff, can really pick up the pieces. Should be fit because it had a nice bullet workout, 1 minute flat going 5 furlongs. That was the best of 14 on the day. And like I said, if you look to the right, you'll see number 7, Marini's Best, is my second choice. Look down below at the bottom, you'll see it's separated by a slash, meaning next tier down. I like the 7 for these various reasons. /2 and 3, so kind of either or for the third and fourth place finishers, and here's a little description of why I like those. So I won't have to explain that in the next videos going forward, but top pick on the left side, underneath horses that may have a shot to win as well, especially when they're separated by a slash. So I wouldn't be surprised if the 7 won, but I do like the 4 a little bit better, or on another tier than the 7. So moving on to race number 2. Race number 2, number 5, Wound Up, 9-5 on the morning line was my top pick. This horse is making its third start off of about a year layoff. Third starts off long layoffs is typically when a horse can peak. This horse has showed good speed and endurance going 6 furlongs, and now it's cutting back to 5.5 furlongs. I think this horse is going to be pretty hard to catch. It's got speed, it can get to the front, it's got endurance, so the surface and distance should not be an issue. It is taking a confident step up in class from $8,000 to the $12,500 tag, but it won at the $8,000 level last time out very easily, very convincingly. So it's appropriate that this horse would rise up in class. This horse is also 1 for 1 at Pleasanton and 2 for 2 at the distance. So this type of race is something that this horse should be able to relish. And the jockey aboard is winning at a 27% clip. Very competent jockey. The trainer is also solid. But number 5, Wound Up, 9-5, my top pick in the second race. Moving on to race number 3. Race number 3, 5.5 furlongs, claiming tag of $25,000, and my top pick is going to be number 2, No Doro, 8-1 on the morning line. Looking through this race, I thought this horse had the potential to be lone speed, and that's beneficial to horses. They can usually relax and run some of their best races when they get a nice comfortable lead, meaning they're a couple lengths ahead of the second place runner. Race 2 back figure at Pleasanton fits here. The last race bobbled and rushed up, so I'm kind of tossing out that race. The race 2 back where he ran well, got that soft lead, won easily. That speed figure fits with the rest in here. And again, I think this horse has the most speed from the gate. This horse has raced 3 times at Pleasanton with 2 wins. Again, bobbled and rushed the last time out, so I'm going to kind of forget that race, toss it out, and just overall hope to get loose on the lead. And if you look at the bottom, I have 2, 5, 4 in that order, separated by commas. A little bit of a tricky race to pick a winner, so I'm going to mention the 5 and 4 briefly. Number 5, Everyday Saturday, 7-2 on the morning line. It's making its 3rd start off of an 8-month layoff. Again, 3rd starts off a layoff, usually a time when horses can really peak and run very well. Shuffled last time out, so run into some traffic issues last time out. And I think the fractions that this horse ran were actually still sneaky fast. The opening quarter was a little bit slow, but after that really picked up speed. And on paper it doesn't look super fast, but if you break the fractions down, I think this horse should be able to not only improve but make a real strong late close and perhaps run down this field, which isn't very superior or overall very strong. So I think this horse just avoid any traffic and should get a good run and might get up there for the win. It's got a good work tab coming into this race, so this horse should be fit. Again, 3rd off the layoff, good work tab. Looks like it's ready to roll. And this jockey gets a little bit of a weight break, a bit of a newer jockey. It's getting 5 pounds or 7 pounds less than the horse carrying the most weight, so a little bit of a weight advantage for number 5. Doesn't hurt. Number 4, my last horse in the top tier of win contenders. Horse is in good form, won last 2 races since coming up north from Del Mar. This horse is precocious. It's had lots of races in its 3-year-old year and won its first time routing, so this horse seems to know what it's doing on the track. Horses going a route of ground or a mile or 2 turns for the first time usually takes a little bit of a learning curve, but this horse won first time routing, so again, a little precocious, getting an early start to its career. I think it can sit and pounce at this distance. It does have some speed. It's run pretty well at sprint distances, so it should be right up near the lead. And if the 2 doesn't get a soft lead, this horse will be right there to run past late or in the stretch at some point. The horse is also 1 for 1 at Pleasanton, so a little success over the track already. You like to see that. So those are my top 3 in the win contention. I would use all 3 in a pick 4 or any other sort of horizontals. But moving on to race number 4. Race number 4, 6 furlongs, a claiming tag of 4,000, non-winners of 2 lifetimes. So all these horses have broke their maiden and are looking for their second win, their first win against winners. My picks are 8, 3, 7 in the win tier. So again, another spreader race where I thought it's a little bit wide open. But my top pick is number 8, Shadow Thought, 2-1 on the morning line. Has speed but broke its maiden stocking. A maiden race, of course, is for horses that have never won yet. So when this horse finally won its first race against other horses that hadn't won its first race, it was not in wire-to-wire fashion, but sitting right off the leaders and ended up winning. Horse has better figures on the dirt, so hopefully the switch to dirt gave this horse a little bump in ability. It came from Golden Gate where they ran on a synthetic surface, and since coming to dirt, this horse has improved. Its first try against winners was in the claiming $8,000 level, and now is dropping to the 4,000 non-winners of 2 lifetime, so a pretty good drop in class. This horse also gets an outside post, so as I said, it won its maiden race stalking the leaders. This horse has a good outside post. It should be able to get out quick, and she should be able to look down to her inside, pick the leader to stalk, sit right behind her, and make its move in the stretch. Other speed in this race has shown a tendency to fade, so this horse should be close enough to get first crack at those leaders. I think most other contenders will be behind this horse and have to pass this horse late, so I think this horse gets first run at the leaders and first try to really seal the deal. An asterisk down there, that's kind of a red flag. This horse, it took 12 tries for it to break its maiden, so really doesn't have a tendency to win. Obviously, none of these horses do. They've only won 1 race. But this horse taking 12 tries to break its maiden, win its first race, a little bit of a red flag, but overall, you got to compare it to the other horses in the race. Not a tough field. My second choice, number 3, almost got lucky, 4-1 morning line. It's a closer going 6 furlongs in this weak field. Broke its maiden at Pleasanton with its career best figure, so maybe this horse just likes this track the most. Again, not a great speed figure, but this horse's best performance was at this track. Castellanos, a jockey I like, especially in the NorCal circuit. Jockey and trainer team up and are 3 for 10 together, winning 30%. Last time out, it closed very well, coming from 10 lengths back early to losing by just 1 length, and it was squeezed at the start. So right out of the gate, just didn't get a good start, had to find some room, and still rallied and almost won at this level last time out. Third choice in the win tier, number 7, Spread the Risk, 9-2 on the morning line. Beat the number 3 horse above by 1 1/4 lengths. Third start off a short break, again, should improve. Third off a layoff. Second sprint after a route. So this horse came out after the layoff, ran a route, and I take that as a conditioning type of race. Run a mile, you're not expected to win, but the horse will get race experience, and also it's kind of like a workout within the race. Cut back to a sprint, ran much better, almost won, only lost by a head, and again beat my second pick, number 3, in that race by 1 1/4 lengths. Ran well on wet dirt, so there's a potential that there could be a little bit of rain or moisture in the track, and if so, I might bump the 7 horse in front of the 3 on my win contention sheet. So if there is some water, maybe bump the 7 up just a little bit. Now moving on to race number 5. Race number 5 is 5.5 furlongs, an allowance 62.50, and my top pick is going to be number 5, Handsome Gary, even money on the morning line. This horse last time out ran evenly versus a horse named Sir Grayson, who's a really top quality sprinter in Northern California circuit. And if that horse, Sir Grayson, it's kind of been dropping in tag, but it really performed last time out on this track. And this horse that I like on top, Handsome Gary, ran evenly behind that horse, who's, if it's on its game, is a very classy horse at the $16,000 claiming level. So pretty decent level for the Northern California circuit. And this horse was 7 lengths clear of the 3rd place finisher in that race behind Sir Grayson. Ran a near top figure last time out, so this horse is in form. I don't mind the near top in career because it tells me that this horse has room to improve. Maybe can improve a little bit off of that, and if it does, I think this horse is heads above the other horses in this race. My only question is that Sir Grayson horse. It's kind of been dropping in tag lately, so depending on how good that race was, this horse could be an easy winner or could be a little suspect. So that's why I don't have it as a lock. I'm kind of curious to see how this horse runs to verify how well Sir Grayson is doing at this time. This horse doesn't need the lead. It can sit right off the leaders and pounce. It was unable to pounce on Sir Grayson, who again, when he's on his game, is a really good horse. I also just think that Handsome Gary is faster than the other horses in this race. And again, we have an asterisk here. This horse's last win was at Ferndale, which is a lower class circuit. Some of the not as quality horses run up there. I love Ferndale, don't get me wrong. No, don't mean to insult the track. I love it, but this horse's last win was at Ferndale, but it did win pretty convincingly by over 3 lengths. So it got the job done as it should have. The other horse in this race that I have as sort of a win contender, number 6, Cowboy Kisses, 9-2 on the morning line. Speedy horse off a $10,000 claim by Isidro Tamayo, one of the top trainers in the Northern California circuit. Since that horse was purchased, had a bullet 4 furlong workout, so in 46 seconds flat, which was the best of 68 on the day, so that's nothing to scoff at. This horse is also adding blinkers, which can give this horse a little more focus, maybe show a little bit more speed, and maybe not lug in or out in the stretch and just keep running straight. Hopefully the trainer knows more than I do, which I'm sure he does, and the blinkers will just give this horse a little extra boost. Americano, the jockey, is winning at 27%. Again, gets a little bit of weight break, so a speedy horse with the weight break and a real top jockey. A lot to like about this horse. This horse has run 4 times on the dirt and has a second and a third, no wins yet, but I think this horse has the ability to win this race. Again, it just kind of depends on what Handsome Gary's all about and how well Sir Grayson's race really was. So moving on to race number 6. Race number 6, 5 furlongs, claiming tag of 5,000, non-winners of 2 lifetime. My top pick is going to be number 2, Bold Encounter, 5-1 on the morning line. This horse is dropping from claiming tag of $10,000 down into 5,000, non-winners of 2 lifetime. This horse was close to winning at open company for a claiming tag of $8,000, so was close to 8,000, went up to 10,000, couldn't get the job done. Now gets a real soft class at 5,000, non-winners of 2 lifetime. In this race, I kind of went through and eliminated some of those horses that were struggling at Ferndale, and that left me several horses, one of them being this 2, Bold Encounter. This horse, if you look at the comments, was a beat slow out of the gate last race. If you scratch out that race, all of this horse's speed figures fit in this race and should be able to get the job done. The trainer, he's a solid trainer, Calvario in Northern California. This horse can sit right behind the ample cheap speed in here. I see a lot of horses that want to go to the lead, but not very classy horses, have a tendency to fade. And I think this horse can sit right behind them, and when they start to fade, this horse should keep going, especially at the 5 furlong distance. Should not be an issue. My other pick in here, number 4, Lasmew. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but 10-1 on the morning line. making its fourth start in its 4-year-old campaign off a 10-month layoff. So a little past its third start off a layoff where it ran a decent buyer. The 3-year-old figures fit in this race. If this 4-year-old can get back to those 3-year-old figures, fourth start off the layoff, that fits right in with the rest of this field, which is pretty weak. After that long layoff, it came into a sprint race, ran pretty evenly, went up to a mile, faded, came back to another sprint, made a middle move, so halfway through the race kind of vied for the lead, tried to make its move, and ran out of steam and still only lost by a length and a quarter. This horse has a nice 5 furlong work, 1 minute and 1.2 since its last race, so fit and working long. Trujillo and Jimenez, I think this jockey is an upgrade. This jockey has been on this horse before, so should be familiar. Got some of those good 3-year-old speed figures that I want to see. This jockey did with this horse, so I'm hoping to get kind of a long shot in this race in a pretty weak field. Moving on to race 7. Race 7 was a pretty tough race for me to handicap. It's a mile and a 16th on the dirt, an allowance 26,000. And my top pick is number 6, Shot of Courage, 4-1 on the morning line. This horse is 3 for 4 after switching from turf to dirt in SoCal. This horse was running its early part of its career on the turf. When it switched to dirt, it got 3 wins out of 4 tries. Espinoza hops on board. He's a 20% winning jockey and actually hops off the horse that's number 4 in this race after the number 4 won its last race with this jockey. So this jockey seems to think that Shot of Courage has a better shot of winning this race than the number 4 horse, so I thought that was a little vote of confidence. This horse should stalk near the front, has speed, can be right up in the mix, should avoid any traffic trouble with that running style. Horse has a 4 furlong work in 48.2 seconds at Pleasanton since its last Del Mar win. This horse was also claimed at Del Mar for $20,000, so some trainer and owner out there thinks this horse is worth $20,000. Moved it from SoCal where the competition is much stiffer. Came up here, running him right where the horse likes it, right on the dirt. Yeah, 4-1, I think this horse has a real good shot at the win. A little asterisk, this horse was claimed from a 15% winning trainer to a 5% winning trainer, but I think the move to a softer field in Northern California should bode well and work in this horse's favor. So that's my top pick and my only pick in the win column. Moving on to race number 8. Race number 8, another mile and a 16th on the dirt, claiming tag of $16,000, and my top pick is number 5, Atomic Drop, 5-2 on the morning line. Another lone speed contender. This horse might be the only one that goes for the lead and might have a comfortable cushion to the horse that's in second place stalking. This horse won for $16,000 at Del Mar, again, which is stiffer company, wire to wire, 5 races back in July. Won for $16,000, so at this level at Pleasanton last time out in wire to wire fashion. This horse also outran the other speed prospect in this race, the number 6, back in July. So if this horse doesn't get a loose lead, I think the number 6 could press, but last time they faced each other, number 5 blew that horse off its feet. So I think, again, that number 5 could be a loose leader. This horse is trained by a really good trainer, 20%, 28% on the year. Top jockey winning at 22%. Gets a good outside post right in the middle. Should be able to get to the lead, pick the path that it wants. Typically off the rail at Pleasanton looks to be good, so I don't see any issues for this horse unless this horse doesn't break well. Should be able to get to the front, kind of control the tempo, and just keep on running. The distance doesn't seem to be an issue. The horse looks fit and didn't run a top buyer last time out when it won easily on the lead, so the horse could improve in this race. Moving on to race number 9, the final. Race number 9 is a distance of 5.5 furlongs, claiming tag of 62.50, and my top pick is number 6, Imperial Hornet, 4-1 on the morning line. I was very happy to see 4-1 on the morning line. I think this horse may go off as the favorite in this race, so it will be probably a single in any horizontals that I'm playing, which is a nice way to cap off the day. I've been following this horse for a while, and it's talented, always puts in a good run, but let's dive in. This horse has run 19 times in its career with 10 wins, 2 seconds, and a third lifetime. Going back to December 2023 to May 2024, this horse had a 7-race win streak in non-claiming races. This horse is now third off of a short layoff, so got a little bit of a breather and has come back to the racetrack. This horse last time out did not run well, but it ran into some traffic with 3/8 left to go and ended up having to go wide. I'm going to kind of toss that race. In the race before that, ran a good speed figure. First off, a little bit of a break, but ran second by 2 lengths. So technically third off a short layoff. The race 2 back was pretty solid and can improve. This horse is dropping to 62.50, the lowest it's run on the page. It has not run in for a claiming tag this low since maybe ever, but this horse was running in optional claimer starter allowance races. That's when it had its 7-race win streak. This horse also has a real nice work tab coming in with a bunch of gate work, so this horse should be familiar with the gate, looks to have speed. This last 4 workouts were all bullets, so best on the day. This horse just looks fit. This horse has ability. Will be on or near the front. It's getting a good post in post 6. Should be able to avoid trouble, see what's going on around him, pick its spot. The trainer and jockey both winning at about 18%. I just think that this is a soft spot for a horse that I know is very talented. Yeah, a lot to like. Again, I don't think this horse will be 4-1. The favorite is coming off like a 5-month layoff. Hasn't shown much ability on dirt and is dropping. So again, a single for me, number 6, Imperial Hornet. And that's the last race of the day at Pleasanton. I hope everyone liked the video. I don't know if people want me to talk more about my underneath if they're not exactly in win contention. I know this video ran a little bit longer than I was hoping, but I hope that there was enough information that was useful to everybody. If there's a way that I could do these picks different, if you want less of a breakdown, more talking about how the race as a whole is going to shape up, how I see it, things like that, just let me know in the comments. I'm still trying to get some videos out that people actually want to listen to and provide information to the best of my ability for how people want to hear it. But again, those are my picks on the day. Good luck to everybody. I will be playing. Again, these picks are before scratches, so forgive me if there's some scratches of some speed horses and that changes the dynamic of the race. But again, those are my picks. Good luck, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.